folks, welcome to my new channel. I wanted to start keeping a Nerd Over 30 strictly to comic books and so on and so forth, game reviews, comic reviews, general geekdom. So I started this as, even though it's named Anawat News, or Anout, however you pronounce it, it's not just going to be news and politics, it's also going to be culture, general just things that I find interesting or feel like talking about, and so on and so forth. You'll see a lot more religion because, you know, I decided to be a devout Catholic. Yeah, Catholicism is Christianity on hard mode, just saying. Just saying. Obviously, you know by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about Joe Biden and everything that's been going on. And, you know, let's start this out with, let me say this now. Joe Biden will be president. Joe Biden will be president. He will win this election. Won't be legitimate. It will be cheat. It will be everything that they can claim that, oh, well, that's how he got it. I mean, Trump just, the evil orange man was just too much of a dictator. People didn't show up for him. The red mirage where everyone goes out and votes for him on election day and then turn around and all the mail-in votes. Oh! I mean, come on. Joe Biden can declare victory on, you know, November 3rd, but if Trump does it, he gets blocked. If Trump does it, he gets banned. If Trump and anyone else saying that Trump won the election, oh, they will be blocked. But alright, so, the Odyssey of Joe, or as I like to call it, Joe's Woes of the News Flows, is basically if you will, since the primaries, he's been having constant problems of having to deal with things that he has either said or done in the past. The man is a 47-year veteran of politics, and because of that, he has created a situation where around him there is an air of the establishment. He is the establishment candidate. I mean, when you have things going on at the beginning of it where people are bringing up the fact that he's creepy Joe Biden, who sniffs little girls, you know, and does a bunch of creepy stuff with them. Then you have the fact that Hunter Biden has been in and out of legal troubles, or would be if he hadn't stepped in, you know, been caught with drugs, so on and so forth, was discharged from the Navy due to his illicit substances. And then you have the fact that, you know, the various slights against Sanders and things done and so on and so forth. I remember that. It wasn't as big of a news cycle, but it was still kind of. And then you have, I can't remember the woman's name, I'm sorry, but basically how he was accused of impropriety. We will put it like that. Everyone knew he was going to get the nomination, let's be honest. But once he did get it, you have the issue of he decided that he was going to, and he even said this, appoint a woman of color. Now, many people were thinking it was either going to be Stacey Abrams or, well, he said a woman. He didn't say a woman of color, but he said a woman. So it was either going to be Stacey Abrams, Klobuchar, Harris, and maybe even Clinton. We all knew he was going to pick one of those women, and so when he picked Harris, we were all like, really? Out of the several women within politics that he could have picked as his VP, he chose the one woman who won, got destroyed by Gabbard. Alright? 2 is unlikable to the point where she's comparable to Hillary Clinton. Alright? Completely unlikable. Has a bunch of baggage from when she was the Attorney General in California, so on and so forth. All the bad, you know, I think it's originally in San Francisco when she was a DA, you know, and then you had the Attorney General and just all the things she's done, alright, which hurt her, mind you, in her attempt to get the presidency, because all Gabbard had to do was bring it all up. So you had that happen to Biden. Then, right when you think, okay, you know, they're going to keep throwing stuff at Trump, they're going to do everything that they can to get Trump, even though every one of these various articles end up being bunk anyway. We're not even going to touch on the tax returns bit because the whole excuse that Twitter used to get rid of the Hunter Biden story that just came out was what should have been used on Trump, because literally those tax documents were not given properly. They were illegally obtained. Whereas the Hunter Biden information, well, that was legally obtained. They were properly obtained. The Hunter Biden story, he basically So either him or an aide dropped off a laptop at, computer repair company. I cannot imagine paying hundreds of dollars to get like a desktop or laptop fixed just because you can buy a new one for that same amount of money. Literally, a low-end laptop costs you like $300. That's what it costs for most of these computers to get fixed. And that's probably what he did. He probably was like, well, it's cheaper to just buy me a new laptop, all cracked out, and forgot about it. That's probably what he did. And then months go by, the dude's done his job, he couldn't salvage the laptop, so he backed everything up, and in the process, he, saw what was a bunch of improprieties, we'll put it like that, and he was like, well, this is not a good thing. Let me give this to the FBI, but at the same time, because I know the FBI is going to sit on it, let me give it to Giuliani. Oh, what do we have here now? An average everyday citizen who saw how the FBI has become politicized. Mind you, as I've stated time and again, the FBI has always been the offensive arm of the Democratic Party, but that's not the point I'm making. He had the foresight to see that this would not be pursued legally. He knew. And so Giuliani's like, okay, the FBI sat on it, and what's even funnier is the FBI had this information in December. What was going on in December of last year? It's got peach in the word, and mint. I wonder what word that is. But anyway, we all know what I'm saying. The gentleman the repairman had the foresight to go, I'm going to make sure this gets out there. I'm going to make sure that, these improprieties are looked at properly. And now the argument can be made, why is he looking at it? Well, it's technically his info at that point. It is his property. He can go through it if he wants. It was left there after, I think a lot of companies, a lot of places have a 90-day policy. It's your property is not picked up within 90 days. It is no longer your property. It is the establishment that is holding it. That's just the way it goes. Then you have the fact that Twitter and Facebook both blocked the story. This makes it where Section 230 is, once again being used in a way it was not meant to be used. Twitter and Facebook should not have blocked it. They should have been like, hands off, nope, I am not getting involved in this. I see the writing on the wall. This will make things worse for us. And now they're banking on a Joe Biden presidency. And this is why, I don't expect this video to get that many views. I'm a nobody from Nowheresville, Oklahoma, so on and so forth. I do not expect this video to get to the president. But if it does, Trump, here's the thing you have to understand. Executive order is for situations like this. When you have a establishment, Congress and Senate, I'm not saying everyone on the Republican side of the Senate is establishment. A lot of the establishment guys ran to the Democrats. But you have enough establishment Republicans that they will not allow you to do anything about this. And you have enough establishment Democrats and Republicans in the Congress that will not allow things, any legislation to curtail these big tech companies, Twitter, Facebook, Google, so on and so forth. I can name them all, but we know the ones who are bad. PayPal, things like that. These companies that make their money exclusively off the internet. That's what Section 230 was meant to protect them from being sued because of things that other people did, not necessarily things that they did. Now, because Section 230 has been being abused, this is where executive authority comes into play. You can literally go in, add an addendum to the Section 230 saying, if you do these things, if you are blatantly in the pocket for one political party, you lose all your protections. Which would open the door for Republicans to start suing Twitter, Facebook, Google, so on and so forth, to start creating change. After enough Republicans started suing them, they're going, we can't afford these lawsuits anymore. Dude, we can't afford these lawsuits anymore. These people are bleeding us dry in legal fees. Let's just, no, let's stop. What happens then? They start being neutral again. Because there's no longer, they understand that if they involve their personal politics into their company and into this platform like it's supposed to be, they will be held accountable either through civil means, possibly even through legit judicial means. Because let's be honest, Twitter and Facebook may have just, well, best way I can put it, they may have just done some political interference, some political tomfoolery that they shouldn't have in our elections. That's what executive order abilities are meant for. When you do this, you literally, yeah, they'll try to challenge it. They'll try to send it to the Supreme Court. They'll try to immediately do it. Everything that they can to stop it. But what's going to happen? It's going to get to the Supreme Court. Yep. Legit, your challenge is denied. These things go in. At that point, the only thing that the Democrats can do is hope and pray that while they will get the presidency, now here's the thing. The local races, watch the local races. Tomfoolery's afoot there too. Tomfoolery's afoot there too. If you think that a lot of the senators and congressional elections, so on and so forth, that are going on, do you think they're not going to be rigged for the Democrats? You are fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself. Watch. Mail-in voting is going to be a landslide for the left. And that's why we, the American people, need to be willing to say, no! We want these mail-in ballots checked. We want to make sure that our electoral process is secure. And if all those ballots magically disappear, the election needs to be nullified. New election. And when those ballots magically disappear, do it again. And keep doing it until you get it right. Until you stop doing things that are illegal and stop trying to go against the will of the American people. This is one of those moments where I'm like, the left gets a free pass to riot at the drop of a hat. Oh, misinformation, let's go riot. Alright, like, we're going to hold a rally, we're going to do things the proper way, and so on and so forth. Guys, the left gets a free pass because they are willing to destroy things. You don't have to actually destroy something, but make sure that these institutions know that you are willing to. And if these institutions refuse to actually stop being political and don't go back to being neutral, then guess what? The Twitter's worried that these far leftists will come to their building and burn it down. I guarantee you, a mob of right-wingers out front won't even have to do anything. They will go, oh, that's bad. Now they are showing up. This is a Kobayashi Maru. What do we do? What do we do? Give them that no-win scenario, and they will fold. But alright, folks. Don't think I've really added anything new. More of my take on everything. Like I said, this is going to be where I put all my political stuff. This is going to be where I put all my religious stuff. This is going to be where I put everything. Notice. Doo-doo. Mother Mary. Had to. Like I said, like, subscribe, ring the bell, follow me on Twitter, Brainiac420. Follow me on everywhere else at Bob Jones Comic Board. You can find me on BitChute as Bob Jones. And yeah, let's share this about. Seriously. I mean, I know it's, like I said, it's not really adding anything new, but the more people say this is not right, the more people make videos saying this isn't right, let's create more Gary Lambs, alright? Let's create more of those guys. I'm never going to have that same amount of success, ever. But people like Gary who put the grind in, who didn't let every little thing, beat them down, they're the ones that need to be lifted up. So, start lifting these people up. With that, later, folks.